Hello everyone, welcome back to another contrast paint video. Apologies in advance if I sound a little bit rough. I am choked up with the cold at the moment and steadily recovering as best I'm able. The plan was to record some Batman today, but that had to fall through. Just couldn't face doing a whole recording of that, so I was like, well, got a little bit of time. Contrast videos just involve a lot of waiting for paint to dry, so why not do one? And I looked at what I had on my to-do pile, and I have myself a Primaris Chaplain, which I got because chaplains are actually interesting now. I don't think they're like super powerful or anything, it's just that they're more interesting to use in battles now with their litanies that they can do. And the Primaris model is pretty cool, even though he does look a lot like Reaper from Overwatch. So it's also a chance for us to see a majority Black Templar contrast model. In my own time I did a Vindicare Assassin, which involved a lot of this. Didn't do that in a video though. It's been in a battle report though. So it's a good chance to see Black Templar contrast and just kind of judge it on its own merits, because to start with we're going to just basically cover 90% of this in the Black Templar. The exceptions being the Absolver pistol, the Crozius Arcanum, his halo, this shoulder blade because that's going to be ultramarine coloured, and his book, which you can also see there. Basically everything else is black, other than like, there is other parts, but I'm going to do all that in black and then leave it to dry for a long time, and then just use potted grey cere. It's already based in grey cere, but it was spray painted grey cere. It's not quite in focus, there it is. To just like reapply on the bones, the bone face, the tassels here if they get a little bit covered in black, and they'll be getting a treatment of Skeletal Horde. The reds on the gun and the Crozius Arcanum are a little darker than normal, so I think I'm going to use the Flesh Terror red for that, because I think that's more of a match to the colour they use. Other than that, there's a little bit of silver. I might use some Wildwood brown for the belts, and gold, just standard gold for the halo, and some more of the trim as well. But during this first time skip, we are going to see Black Templar across the whole thing, more or less, and then we'll go from there once it's dried, which will take quite a while. So here we are, our first check-in. The Black Templar still has a bit to go. There was a little bit of bleed because I was being impatient. But I've used some grey cere from the pot, like I said, just to clean up the parts which are going to be different colours, like the belt for instance, and around the hands and some of the chains, etc. So it's still got to sit for a little while to dry fully, but it's starting to look pretty good, I think. And once it is dry, the next step will be the remainder of the majority of the contrast work. So Skeletal Horde for the tassels, for the bones and the bone face, Flesh Terror red for the gun barrel and the staff part, the haft, I don't know what that's called, of the Crozius Arcanum, and some Wormwood brown for the belt buckle, the holster. Oh, some Flesh Terror red on the book as well. For whatever reason, the outer cover of it matches the gun and the Crozius Arcanum, so that's what it's going to be. Then we'll check in again before we do the non-contrast stuff, which is just going to be the silver of the gun, the silver of the backpack. He's got some silver like chains down the front there, some golden skulls and gold trim. We will probably just quickly use Ultramarine blue on the shoulder pad as well, but I'm not sure if I'll do that now because there's still a little bit of drying black there. But anyway, we'll come back and get on with the next part of the contrast work. So that's about it for the contrast portion of the paint done. Obviously there's going to be some cleanup to be done, but primarily we're just going to apply the gold Balthazar, I never remember, and the Lead Belcher Silver with a little bit of known oil over the top once that's dry, just some mortifying brown for the base as well. And the silver will be picking out all the chains here, the belt buckles, etc. And the inside of the book's going to be done in probably a little bit of contrast, but I can't apply it while the Flesh Terror Red is drying, so that'll be done afterwards as well. But for the most part, it's more or less done. That's the contrast portion more or less complete. There'll be a little dissolve here now, and we'll come back to the finished Primaris Chaplain. And so, as always, sometime later, here we have the finished Primaris Chaplain. I think it turned out pretty okay, if I do say so myself. Ignore my phone beeping at me. We'll do the Ghetto 360 spin as is tradition. It's still drying on the base, so I'm trying not to touch it too much. Just use the transfer for the shoulder badge there, which didn't apply fantastically, but you know. So the gold is on. Agraxar Shade went over the gold. Known Oil went over the silver on the pistol. I think that actually on the official art that's like the winged thing there is meant to be white, but I decided just to keep it silver just to keep it nice and simple. But I think all in all, it came out okay. The Black Templar contrast is good. I feel like to get the most out of it, you probably should edge highlight afterwards with like Eshin Grey. I think that they don't have contrast instructions on the back of the box, but yeah, Bad and Black base and then a layer of Eshin Grey and Dawnstone. Just edge highlighting with Eshin Grey would probably bring out more. I don't really edge highlight because I don't have a steady enough hand for it for the most part, which is just another reason why I rely on contrast so much. Which you'll know if you've watched any battle reports I've filmed, that's my hands at their steadiest. So, you know, I dry brush, but edge highlighting, it's rare because I can't do it very well. I might go over this one a little bit, just like on the simplest edges of like the cape and whatnot. But all in all, that is it. Another miniature down in contrast paint. Next time we're probably going to do, I was going to do this off camera, but we'll probably do it on camera. A little sneak peek, a old metal Hawkman for the DC miniature game. That might be what we do. We'll see. I'll see how long it takes me to get over this cold that's been harassing me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was entertaining, if not informative in any way. Thank you very much for watching though. See you in the future. Ta-ta for now.